Danny, thank you for joining us in the studio today, mate. You're, of course, the Eastern Rangers talent lead, so you get to see a lot of the young players coming through and hopefully going through to the AFL and the AFLW. But the first thing we'd like to talk to you about is your affiliation with our competition, which starts with your days at the Woori Yallock Football Netball Club, where you had a lot of success. Of course, 4 club best and fairests, 1 league best and fairest, 8 interleague appearances. You're a 5-time premiership player, a 3-time premiership coach, and 300 games and a life member. Can you tell us a little bit about your playing days at Woori and what sticks out to you when you think back to that time?
Yeah, it's sort of it's a long period. I think it was over about 18 years that I was involved in the senior club. Before that, I was 6 years of age when I first played junior football at Woori Yallock. And I suppose the senior side of things, there was a lot of different phases of the program, or phases of my career. You know, early days as a 17-year-old. Running around playing with some of the club legends, it was pretty exciting, a bit of a surreal sort of feeling, and they retired, and we probably really struggled that first 5 or 6 years of football. We never played finals, and then early 2000s, Damien Moncourse came back to the club as our coach and started getting some success from that point of view, from that point of time, and from there just to go off, and I think we played in 8 grand finals over 11 years, so lots of great memories. Probably my favourite memories are just playing with my mates and, you know, sitting down on the floor of the rooms after a game, a win or a loss. A win probably more so was more exciting, but, you know, spending time with family and friends and being a part of the community up at Woori Yallock was something that, you know, I still miss. I go up there every now and then on a Thursday night when I get an opportunity and get out to some games, you know, at times when Eastern aren't playing. But I really do, you know, cherish my time at Woori Yallock and very proud of what we achieved and very proud of the club, you know, what they're doing at the moment.
What made you want to get into coaching?
Interesting. It was, yeah, I was the captain under Monkey for about 11 years and saw the way that he went about things, and I was really keen to sort of in the back end to sort of take control and start doing a few things which Monkey allowed me to do, and then he finished up. Funny story is that Woori probably weren't going to give me the job straight away, and it wasn't until I went and interviewed for a few other coaching roles that they contacted me and said, look, we really want to sit down. And one of the things was, what would make you a good coach? And I thought, well, at the time, Monkey had this amazing game plan that I knew inside and out, or would continue that. And I also felt like I could keep all the players on board and keep them around the club, which by Christmas we'd lost half our squad. So that didn't actually go to plan. So that was pretty tough on the on myself and my ego to think that I could have kept the boys around, and we didn't. And so we went into that first year, you know, tipped to finish on the bottom of the ladder, lost majority of half of our squad from the year before, and then to sort of go on and eventually win the grand final that year was pretty pleasing. So from that, it's been a real passion of mine, and I've sort of stepped away from the coaching side of things now into the operations side of football, but I still think I'm a coach at heart, and I still coach my daughter's under-12s team, which is pretty exciting.
You joined the league as the football development manager in 2017, spending 3 years developing programs and pathways for our participants. Can you talk about your role or what your main objectives were?
Yeah, the role back then, I worked for Telstra for about 18 years, and an opportunity came up when Dean Rice left his position here under AFL Vic as an AFL Vic employee. So I went for that first interview I'd ever gone for in my life and managed to get the role. And it was for me, working in football full time was exciting. It went away from coaching, but it was more around supporting the league in participation numbers, a lot of Auskick, education and rolling out and supporting all the Auskick programs in the Yarra Valley at the time. And then going on to, we set up our interleague program and tried to align it a little bit with the Eastern Rangers. A lot of terminologies, a lot of the coaching practices, and trying to help our kids when they do come into the program down here to sort of have a really confident, you know, ability or thought of what the club's looking for, what the coaches are looking for. So I thought that was really successful. We had some really good players that came through and ended up going on, and we had some really good coaches. Jared Donders was a coach that we got in as a interleague coach, and now he's our full-time coach of the Eastern Rangers girls program. So I thought we set up a really good program and gave our kids in our region every opportunity to take that next step in their footy.
In 2020, you joined the Eastern Rangers as their talent lead. Can you explain a little bit about the role and what's involved?
Yeah, it's basically running a football club, and we've probably got about 40 staff on board that look after our under 16 boys and girls and under 18 boys and girls. So there's 4 full-time staff here. There's probably 6 to 9 part-time staff, and then the rest are our volunteers that come through. So it's just managing them, managing the players. We've got an unbelievable group of recruiters that go out and watch games of football every week, and I sort of support and work with them. So my role is sort of get the squads in for the pre-season, and then you hand it over to LJ and the coaches to pick those squads and final squads that they're looking for throughout the year. A lot of work with AFL recruiters and AFL player managers. It's hard to believe, but a majority of our kids got player managers now that will help support them on the way through. So sort of working in with them and working in with the clubs and the family. So it's a holistic sort of approach and a look at football. And it's look, for me, it's full time. I love it. I've got some kids in the region that we know pretty well. I really love my role.
Your 3 kids now play for Woori, and you coach the under-12 girls team that your daughter is playing in. How does it feel seeing that same passion for the club and your kids?
Yeah, it's amazing. We live in Mooroolbark. We're probably 30 minutes from Woori, 35 minutes. There's probably 7 or 8 clubs within 10 minutes of home, which probably does make sense to send the kids down there. But they grew up in the Woori Footy Club. Their cousins are all up there playing. They just love it. They love the Richmond Tiger jumper. They love going up there. They're just as passionate about the club as I am. And so it's pretty cool. And for my daughter, who had no interest at all in playing footy, she, for some reason over the Christmas break, got really keen to play, and she talked 5 of her friends in from Mooroolbark. So I'm not sure if the parents are too happy about that, but they'll make the 30-minute drive up the highway, and they've been playing, and it's just amazing to sort of see her and see the women's football growing like it is, and to have my daughter now, a part of that club playing football. It's, the best couple of hours of the week sitting down there watching her play. And obviously the boys have been going pretty well at their footy as well. So it's really, really good to see them coming through and hopefully playing a lot of football at Woori Footy Club in the future.
You're obviously very passionate about this community, having been involved in various ways for decades now. Can you tell us what has driven you to be involved with the Outer East Football Netball League and the Eastern Rangers?
Oh, look, I'm very passionate and proud of, as I said, of Woori, but the extended of our region, and it's something that I always talk to, and I talk about our kids about the pathways of coming up through even our system. You don't have to be moving around clubs and bigger clubs. You can actually be found in a small community club like a lot of our towns are out there. But I thought, just from a Woori point of view, they really do punch above their weight when they're going up against clubs and different teams at different years. We recruit really well, and Woori always seems to go very well against them. So from that point of view, it was definitely, I'm really passionate about that region and seeing us doing really, really well at football.
Last question we're going to ask you, mate. How important do you feel it is for your role to have some of the Rangers kids, boys and girls, drafted into the AFL? Do you feel that really reflects on your work?
Yeah, it does. It does. It's very tough. I think there's, on average, about 3 kids a year that will get drafted from our program. So we know that not every kid's going to get drafted. We just make sure that they come in and hopefully leave better players, better kids, and then whatever that level is, AFL, VFL. But for majority of our kids, we encourage them to go back to their local club, wherever that is, support their juniors that have come through. The junior clubs have really looked after them as players. So, when their time is up here, we'd really like to see them go back and play some senior footy for their local clubs.
Danny, thank you so much for joining us in the studio today, mate. We really appreciate all your insights into what goes on with the Eastern Rangers, and we do wish you all luck in the future.
Yep, no worries. Thanks, Hayden.
Thanks, mate.